Hey friends, welcome back. Today we are talking about an incident that happened just a couple days ago in Roswell, Georgia. Before we go any further, let me quickly introduce myself for those of you who have not seen my channel before. My name is Christy. I worked for over 10 years as a paramedic until 2021 when I had a motorcycle accident where I was internally decapitated and had a brain herniation. So now I crochet a lot and talk a lot to you. This incident was sent to me by a viewer, and to say I was disturbed is an understatement. So we're gonna get into it. I've got some questions and I've got more than one perspective I want to talk about regarding this, so I am going to play devil's advocate a little bit. But if you are a new EMT in EMT school, you need to watch this video. And if you are watching this video and you know someone who is in EMT school, paramedic school, or who maybe just started at an EMS service, you need to send them this video. This is important. It's raining really hard and we have a metal roof, so I don't know if you can hear it or not, but if there's some weird background noise, that's what you're hearing. So just to set the scene a little bit, Central EMS responded to a male patient who called 911 for difficulty breathing. This was in an apartment complex in Roswell, Georgia. There just so happens to be a video of this that was taken by a neighbor. So first I'm going to show you the video, and then we're going to go over the social media post and the problem.
I'm trying to find out who this man is so I can contact his family. I can't see him from here, so I'm trying to knock on a neighbor's door so I can see I don't know who this man is. Oh my God.
So now I'm going to show you the post that one of the EMTs made on Facebook. Hey, so, hi. We had a call go out as difficulty breathing. I thought it was BS, so I walked in there on the 8th floor into his bedroom while he was lying on the ground throwing up and said, "Aight, come on, we've got to get on the stretcher. Give me your hand and get up." He got up and laid on his bed and told me to get his shoes. I got his shoes and said, "Okay, get up. Let's get you to the elevator." We moved down the hall to the elevator. He started to feel faint and laid on the ground. I again was like, "Nope, we ain't doing this. Get up." He got up, and we propped him up on the wall while standing. He then started to give out. I said, "Hey, he's going." I checked for a pulse and no pulse. No one listened to me except my partner. She checked and didn't see a pulse as well. I went down with the other partner to get the stretcher. We got it, came back up, and CPR was in progress. They got him out into the elevator, and I took the second one down. They were doing CPR in the ambulance. I then chimed in doing CPR. Arriving at the hospital, I hopped on top of the patient doing CPR, literally on top of him. I was ducking and dodging every entranceway, trying not to hit my head, but when we got into the room, I hit my head on the light. Not hard though. We got to the room and I was still on top of him. A fireman said, "Okay, let's get you down." Then he grabbed me under my arms and got me down like a kid. Ha ha. Anyway, he's dead. I watched when he was alert and talking, with him going into cardiac arrest, did CPR, then watched him die. Yes, very sad, but I felt like I was on a TV show. This man on the stretcher while I was on top of this man on the stretcher. That's my rant and excitement for today. Obviously, this post did not sit well with however many people viewed it before it got taken down, but of course, screenshots are still up and circulating the internet. But why? Emma, why? What went through your head that made you think this was in any way an acceptable thing to post on social media? I just cannot wrap my brain around the callousness, the negligence, the audacity, honestly, of this whole post. But we're going to break this post down, and I'm going to point out some things. The first thing I would like to say is this post reads like this is a brand new baby EMT, and this was her first call where she got to see some stuff. I don't know that to be true. I don't know anything about this person. I don't know if it's an EMT or paramedic. I have no idea. But with my experience, I am inclined to think that this is a brand new baby EMT that should not be saying anything. So, first of all, a 911 call was made for difficulty breathing. That's a reason to call 911. That's a legit reason. I've talked in other videos about how people abuse the 911 system and all of that, and we'll get into that more later. But if you are having difficulty breathing, that is a legitimate reason to call 911, which is what this man did. For some reason, she automatically assumes that this is BS. I have no idea why. I don't know if it's the location, the demographic. I have no idea. But for whatever reason, her mind is made up that this is BS. She walks in, patient is on the ground, throwing up. That right there tells you that this is not BS. It may not be anything serious. It could be something really simple, but it's not BS. There are a lot of calls that get made for BS. This is clearly not one of them, and I don't understand. I don't understand. So this person walks in, sees this patient on the ground throwing up. Come on, we got to get on the stretcher. Give me your hand and get up. And she says, okay, get up. Let's get to the elevator. First of all, again, I am assuming this is a brand new baby EMT because this is written like a brand new baby EMT. Where's her partner? What's her partner doing? If she is a brand new baby EMT, then her partner should be a paramedic. The paramedic is who is in charge of the scene, period. And I know this is going to sound condescending, and I guess it is condescending, but this is 10 plus years of EMS experience talking. A brand new baby EMT, you keep your mouth shut. I'm sorry, I know that sounds mean, but why are you talking? I'm not saying you can't talk on that's not what I'm saying. But why did the paramedic even allow this? If I was that paramedic and my brand new baby EMT walked up to a patient on the ground throwing up and said, all right, get up, come on, whatever, I'd be like, hold up. So that's my first question. What was the partner doing? Why was the partner even allowing all of this to happen? So he gets up, let's get you to the elevator. We moved down the hall to the elevator. He started to feel faint and laid on the ground. I, again, was like, nope, we ain't doing this. Get up. She is treating this call like a psych patient. And I'm not saying psych patients deserve to be treated in any type of way other than professionally and with compassion. But she's assuming this is BS. She's over it. This is very reminiscent of the video I did on Earl Moore Jr. with the paramedic Peggy Finley.
Earl. What's your birthday, man?
Hey, what's your birthday?
Hey! That's about all we've been able to get.
Earl, sit up. Sit up. You know what? I am not playing.
Come on, Earl. Let's
up.
come in.
What happened? Stupid.
Stop.
Sit up. Sit up now.
I said in that video that looking from the perspective of an experienced paramedic, Peggy treated Earl like it was BS. This was, in her mind, this was a middle of the night BS call. They got woke up, they're tired, they've been running calls, and this is BS, and she's just not here for it. This is screaming that to me. She thought this was BS. He was not cooperating, I guess, in the way that she thought he should. And when he started to collapse and lay down on the ground because of whatever emergency he's having, no, we ain't doing this. Get up. That right there says everything to me about her mindset. And again, the partner. What was the partner doing? Why did the partner allow this to happen? Assuming everything she says in this is true, I just can't imagine the paramedic partner letting this happen. Now, we don't know what his medical history is. He could be having a COPD exacerbation, a CHF exacerbation. He could have a pulmonary embolism. He could be having a heart attack, and when he stood up, his pressure bottomed out. I mean, there's 1,000 things that it could be. And I'm not saying that they are responsible for his death, because there's just certain things that are out of anyone's control. But I know making him get up and walk probably exacerbated whatever was going on. Had they brought the stretcher up and got him on the stretcher and rolled him out, he may have still gone into cardiac arrest and died. We don't know. So we don't know. So he laid on the ground and she said, "Nope, we ain't doing this. Get up." He got up and we propped him up on the wall standing. He then started to give out. I said, "Hey, he's going." I checked for a pulse and no pulse. No one listened to me except my partner. She checked and didn't see a pulse as well. Again, like I said, a brand new baby EMT. You don't see a pulse, you feel a pulse. I went down with the other partner to get the stretcher. I'm assuming she either means her partner or somebody from the fire department that was also there. Her and somebody went down to get the stretcher. When they came back up, CPR was in progress, and that is what you saw in the video that was taken by a neighbor. They get him in the ambulance, they do CPR, she takes over doing CPR, and then she goes on to embellish this and make it read like an absolutely terrible rom-com or like a Grey's Anatomy situation. This is not for TV. This is actually happening. So she goes on to say that she's on top of him doing CPR and dodging signs. Then she lets us know that she hit her head, not hard though. A fireman grabbed her like a kid and got her down. Ha ha. Anyway, he's dead. I watched when he was alert and talking, with him going into cardiac arrest, did CPR, then watched him die. Yes, very sad, but I felt like I was on a TV show. That's my rant and excitement for today. The absolute callousness, the inability to think about anything else other than, I guess, trying to get clout on the internet is alarming. Not only was I a paramedic for over 10 years, but I had a motorcycle accident where I was internally decapitated. I had a brain herniation. I had to be flown from the scene to a trauma center. I was in the hospital for close to 3 months. I cannot imagine now reading something like that from someone that took care of me. The callousness, the absolute callousness and selfishness is, I obviously don't have words for. There is no excuse for this. Rightfully so, there was an uproar on social media and this employee has been fired. This is the statement from Central EMS. We are aware of the inappropriate and inaccurate comments recently posted. This person is no longer an employee of Central EMS. We appreciate the notifications and concerns from our community. We want to assure you that we have investigated the matter and taken immediate action. Central EMS remains committed to maintaining the highest standards of professionalism and respect for patient privacy and care. We thank you for your continued trust and support as we serve our community. So I have questions. I have questions about her partner. Was her partner a paramedic? Did she try to intervene at all? Or was this like a common occurrence? Like, what made her assume that this was BS? I have a lot of questions, and obviously I'm going hard on this person, as I should, but I do want to throw in some different perspectives here. I posted something on social media many years ago that I should not have posted. It had nothing to do with a call. It was a joke, a dark humor joke that should have stayed between me and my partner. Instead, I thought, I don't know what I was thinking, but I posted on my Facebook page a joke, and someone rightfully complained, and I got reprimanded. I should have gotten fired. I mean, just to be completely honest, I should have gotten fired for that post. If I was an EMS director and one of my employees posted what I posted on social media, I would fire them. I'm not going to repeat it out of sheer embarrassment and disgust. I'm grateful that I did not get fired. But again, my post had nothing to do with my patient care or anything like that. It was a dark humor joke, which we all know people in the medical field, law enforcement, all cope with dark humor. That's not in and of itself wrong. It just is what it is. What is wrong is when you take that dark humor and you put it on the internet for the community to see. That does not elicit confidence from the community in their first responders. Like, I should have been fired. I'm glad that I wasn't. I learned a huge lesson and obviously never did that again. Unfortunately, there is a nationwide shortage of EMTs, specifically paramedics. So a lot of these companies will hire anyone with a license and a pulse. That is the standard. If you can pass your national registry and get your license, you can find a job, because there's a shortage of EMTs, but call volume throughout the nation is much higher than it was 10, 15 years ago. Part of that is abuse of the 911 system. Abuse of 911 is absolutely rampant, and these paramedics who deal with the 911 abuse for years on end, they get burned out. And that's how you get medics like Peggy Moore, who showed up when Earl Moore Jr. was having an emergency. So just to offer, again, a little bit of a different perspective, let's say that this crew was running back to back to back to back to back calls. And every one of those calls was something that should not tie up the 911 system. I have had calls for people having nightmares. I've had calls for anal itching. I've had calls for a simple headache and they didn't have any Tylenol or gas money to put in the car to go to the store and get Tylenol. So they want to go to the ER. New moms calling 911 because their baby's got a snotty nose instead of calling their pediatrician. Just any and everything. 911 calls for a very minor fender bender, but people see an opportunity to try to get something, so they will call 911, want to go to the hospital by ambulance for like literally no injury. It's rampant and it causes burnout among first responders. Burnout is a very real thing. If you ever see like the fire department or EMS show up on a just horrific car crash, and you notice they look a little too calm, that's because years of adrenaline dumps over time change your brain chemistry, and you don't get you're just made different at that point. A brand new medic or EMT get dispatched to a gunshot wound. You're hyped up. You're running through everything. You're thinking. Your adrenaline is pumping. After so many years of doing that. In fact, the last gunshot wound that I can remember that I ran was an accidental self-inflicted gunshot. The whole way there was meh. I was way too calm. Way too calm. Not, heart rate probably didn't even increase whatsoever. Got on scene, and it was a lot worse than I had expected, and we ran the call, and it was fine. It all worked out fine. But I'm just saying, these are some of the things that contribute to burnout. That and 24-hour shifts. So anybody can do anything for 8, 12-hour shift, right? No big deal. I could put up with a lot of BS on a 12-hour shift. When you're working 24-hour shifts, which is what most EMS services do, after about 12 hours, when you're exhausted and you're ready for some sleep and you're getting woke up in the middle of the night for more BS, it's hard. It's so hard sometimes to remain professional. And to be completely transparent, I was not as professional as I should have been on multiple calls, because you have the sheer exhaustion, the burnout, the abuse of the system. But then you also have instances where, let's say you've run a car accident and you watch 2 kids die in that car accident, and you're still cleaning blood out of your truck when someone calls 911 because they're, I don't know, having leg seizures. Yes, I have run that call before. Someone called 911 for leg seizures. And so you show up and, you're still hearing the screams from the mother of these 2 kids. And this was I am not making this up. This is a real call that I was on. Hearing the screams of a mother that lost both of her children in a car accident. That is still very fresh on your mind. And then you've got to transition and try to treat this next patient who shouldn't have called 911, who's rude and demanding, and it's very, very hard to make that transition. And we don't always make that transition appropriately. Sometimes somebody's just going to get lashed out at. And I'm not saying that it's okay. I'm not excusing it. But these companies need money. You make money by transporting people. So even though the community needs to be better educated on when to call 911 and when to not call 911, the company is still going to want you to transport because that's how they get paid. So you're, on the one hand, what's right, what should happen is some proper education, but what has to happen is you transport and get the money from the insurance company so that the ambulance service can continue to keep the doors open and pay their employees. So it's just this vicious cycle of abuse, but needing the money, and burnout and PTSD and EMS shortage, too many calls, people who don't have enough experience under their, like, it is just a mess. It's a mess. However, to go on social media and make this post, that's not a in the heat of a moment mistake. To type on social media, you have processed, you've had so much opportunity to realize I shouldn't do this. This is wrong, and stop yourself. Clearly, this is not what happened. Now, this is the part where I'm going to play devil's advocate just a little bit, though. The first time I ever did CPR, I was just amped up for, I don't know, a couple of hours after that call. It was my first time, like, seeing some things. It was my first time, feeling the ribs breaking when you do CPR. If you do it correctly, most of the time, you're going to break ribs, and you're going to feel it, and you're going to hear it, and it's a strange feeling. But I got to do CPR. I was hearing and feeling the breaking of ribs, and just I called my husband at the time, my ex-husband now, but I called him, and I remember being like, oh my God, I just did CPR and the ribs were breaking and blah, 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 blah. So I get it. When you're amped up like that, if you need to talk about it, that is what you do with your partner. You don't put that on the internet. You just don't. So I get that she was amped up and just feeling like she got to do some stuff. I get it. But posting what she posted on social media is not okay. So I would assume that the family, if they haven't already, are going to retain an attorney, and it's very likely that that attorney is going to go after Central EMS as well as Emma Logue personally, and they're gonna have to settle. They're not gonna win. Emma's not gonna win. She's gonna be lucky if there's not some kind of criminal charge for involuntary manslaughter or something. I'm not a legal expert at all, so I don't know the probability of a criminal charge, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. Unlike the Earl Moore Jr. situation where they secured him face down on a stretcher and killed him, this patient, depending on what was going on, may have died anyways. So it's a little bit different in that I don't think their actions directly killed this patient, but they certainly didn't help and probably exacerbated whatever emergency he was having to begin with. I doubt she will ever see this, but on the off chance that Emma sees this video, to her, I would say that you will get through this, and everything that's about to come to you, you need to take it on the chin. You need to do a lot of self-reflection, a lot of work on yourself, and it's going to be rough for you for a while because of this. But you will get through it. I think that's about all I can say regarding that. I don't like seeing anyone get dogpiled because Emma is a human being deserving of compassion and empathy, but she also needs to be held accountable and take responsibility for the choices that she made. Where Emma really messed up was making that Facebook post, because if she had not made that Facebook post, this would not have gone anywhere, which is also an issue. But because of the reasons that I've already talked about, the burnout and all of that, the abuse of 911, these things do happen, and they happen more than they should. So let this be a glaring lesson for EMT students, paramedic students, anybody brand new in EMS, law enforcement, whatever, let this be a warning to you that tunnel vision is real, and tunnel vision will cause you to make a mistake, sometimes a fatal mistake, and that's not okay. And certainly don't put this mess on social media. I have seen some people say that this was also a HIPAA violation. It was not a HIPAA violation. The video was not taken by any first responder, and the actual Facebook post, there was no patient identifiers whatsoever. There was no HIPAA violation committed. That probably would have worked out better for Emma, though, if it was just a HIPAA violation. But this is not that. This is extreme callousness and medical neglect and just an overall absolute messed up situation. If you liked this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, because a lot of y'all want me to do day in the life vlogs, which I have been doing, but nobody sees them. So make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss a video. And if you are a channel member, a VIP channel member, check the description. We have a VIP channel member Discord now that we have set up. So check the description for the links to all of that and come hang out with us on Discord. If you're not currently a channel member, we would love to have you. Just check the description and everything is there. Y'all go out and do something nice for somebody today, and I will see you very soon.